Okay, we are live. I'm gonna cut that. So just the kind of basic establishing question here. How do you see or how do you use clothing, fashion, accessories, kind of writ large as part of your identity?
Well, I feel like that's changed a lot over my life. Definitely as a kid growing up, I wore a lot of dark brown and green and like neutral, like don't look at me colors. And then as I become more comfortable with who I am, I have kind of gotten a little louder and a little freakier with what I like to wear. And recently, my big thing is like trying to figure out how I can accessorize in a way that doesn't get me read as like a more femme than I want to come across, you know? Because like I want to sparkle, but just like not in like you like let me read you as a girl type of way, you know? I feel like there's no like gender to like shimmer and shine, and so I just recently I've been trying to figure out how to walk those lines.
See your tooth is not.
What?
I see your tooth is not.
I want to get a tooth gem so bad.
What's it, bedazzled?
Yeah, I really want to get one. I think they're so cute, but I'm nervous that they're only for 18-year-olds. But yeah, but I like. What else? How else do I see clothes? Yeah, I mean, I think that like I use how I dress to communicate a lot of different parts of my personality. Like I think my queerness comes through a lot more now that I have short hair. Definitely when I had long hair, I dressed the same way, but people kind of saw me as, or reacted to me as like a tomboy or like a girl dressed up in her boyfriend's clothing or something. I felt like there was like, I felt a lot of interest from like cis het men when I had like flowing curls or something. And then when I shaved my head, all of a sudden like girls would come up to me in bars and be like, guess what kind of underwear I'm wearing, like I want you to fuck me now, you know? And I was just like, whoa, like this is a huge transformation. And yeah, and I felt really naked and really like, oh, it's so clear that I'm gay. Like the hair was really the only thing that was like pegging me to the like straight RS category. And
No innuendo.
now, yeah, you know, and my dad was like, oh my god. But I'm not out to them, but
To your family?
yeah, to certain people in my family, which is its own thing. But which people look at me in the U.S. and they're like, how does your family not know? And I'm like, well, in Mexico it's different. But yeah, so I think I like wear things, for example, that like my dad will buy me, or things like whenever I go to Mexico, my sister and I like always, my dad wants us to wear the same thing. So even though she's like 35 or something, so we always like buy the same like shirt or scarf or something, and then like I like to wear those clothes because it connects me to her, but then my dad really, you know, encourages me to shop for feminine clothes, so then I have to really like figure out how to pair that with like you know, like baseball pants or something that makes me feel like I'm kind of just like having fun with what I'm wearing. What else?
That sounds like a really, maybe, like, I would, if you're willing to, I would love to talk to you about, like, more family-related stuff later.
Yeah.
Because I'm dealing with a lot of that myself, but that sounds like... Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what was or if you remember, is there a particular article of clothing or a particular accessory, like a hat or whatever, that you started wearing, that maybe you found comfort in, maybe you felt as kind of a touchstone in the, ongoing, I hate both coming out and transitioning, because they're words with like certain kind of narrative arcs embedded, but
yeah, I feel like there's no end zone for me. Like, I feel like I'm like swimming around in the middle for a while, it's like a cenote. It's just like I'm just going deeper into the waters or whatever, but not like getting to a shore. But I mean, yeah, I wear a hat all the time, especially in what, like, if I'm around a lot of people. I feel like, first of all, I look fucking good in hats, and second of all, I just feel like it gives me a little extra, like, protection. It's kind of like a talisman for me, and also, I think it is like a recognized symbol of masculinity, like a baseball cap. And something that I think about a lot is when I get dressed and when I'm thinking about my sex life, or like how I'm walking in the world, is like, how do I like stay true to the parts of who I am that feel like feel like things that are coded as more masculine, without inherently participating in the devaluation of femininity. And it's just like, I don't know, I just think about it every single day. Like, how can I support femininity and also like be who I am, who is not like a super femme presenting person? And yeah, and so that's just like a big part of it for me. And I think that like that shapes like what are the different things that I use to look masculine. I really don't want to be threatening. I know that like being a feminine person in the world is like, you have to experience so much violence a lot of the time, and I've definitely been wearing, my boots and like a big jacket, and been walking down the street late at night and like had like a femme person like look over their shoulder and be concerned that I'm like walking too close. And moments like that just really stick with me. And I never want to make people feel that way, so I I'm
glad.
Maybe some people do, but I just like, so the hat is one of my solutions to that. I've been wearing these stick-on gems that are like, I bought them. They're in like a pack for like how to decorate your cell phone, and they're just like rhinestone stick-on letters. I love wearing the eye because I feel like it doesn't look like a letter, but it's very geometric. But at the same time, it's like an affirmation of who I am, It's like a me statement right on my face. Yeah. And so then, I like think about, I'm like putting that on, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to appropriate like prison tattoo culture or anything. Like, I don't want this to look like a tear. I don't want this to look like, like a big, like, I don't know, hood or like chola neck tattoo or something. So, I try to pay attention to the placement in a way that, that feels like fun, and like it's being like glittery, but also like a little bad.
So you've mentioned fun a couple of times. Do you find that kind of central to your maybe your dress identity? Like when you get dressed, you set out to include fun?
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause I don't know, I find so much power in having fun and in humor, and like my dad has had just like a really rough life, and he is just the first person, like, I remember when I was trying to like figure out how to set up my phone in Mexico or like do different bureaucratic things, like every step of the way he's just like laughing. And I feel like I just learned so deeply from him, like, it's not that serious. Like, sometimes you just need to be able to be like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, this is, and so I like try to incorporate that lesson into how I look, and I think that, fun is also, like, looking fun is also a way to not look too dangerous. And what I wear is just like a creative process for me. I think especially because a lot of the things that I want to wear, I can't find in stores in my size.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
That is actually almost literally the phrasing of the next question.
Okay.
Yeah, so things that are difficult to find, sizing.
Oh, God. Well, like dress shoes, I want to look sharp, and all of the men's dress shoes are like so big.
What size do you wear?
I wear a 7 in women's, so they just like don't even carry that in men's in a normal store.
Is that like a 5?
Yeah, it's like a 5 or 5.5 or something. Like, the shelf just doesn't. It's not there. I went and checked it. Like this weekend, I was at the Nordstrom Rack. I was like, maybe size 7. Like maybe I'll be size 7 men's. It's like size 6.5. I was like, maybe I'll fit into that. It's still like too big. Blazers, same situation. Coats that fit me all kind of like have a dart at the waist, and I just want like a straight up and down cut. So like finding something that's my size like that can be kind of expensive sometimes. I shop in the boys section a lot, which is cheaper, but then like the proportions are always like a little bit weird. I have hips, I have like a little booty, and like, I don't know, and like I want that to be hot. I don't want to be like walking around looking like I'm wearing like some like 12-year-old brother's clothes or something. No, I want to look like an adult. I really do want to, like about to be 30 years old. I want to look like a grown person. But that also likes to wear like jewels and a crown ruffle. But I just like, what are the other things? There's so much. Just like a straight up like plaid button up shirt that looks dressy, that doesn't dart in. What else? Pants that like aren't pants that have a little space for the crotch, but that also like I can put my hips in. A lot of like I'm just too small for men's pants. Like it's just a reality, and I try, and then everything's just swimming on me, and I look like a fool. And then, like recently I have started to go out sometimes, like, packing, I guess, as you would say. And, and so sometimes I want to have, like, pants that have a little extra room so that if I want to, like, wear something extra, that there's space for that. Underwear is a huge thing. I just bought, like, a pair of underwear on the internet that actually do fit pretty well, and are like boxer briefs, but they cost me like $25 for one pair. That's not reasonable. And if I think about like what is the ratio of the dollar that I get paid as like a Latinx person to like a white man or something, like a cis white dude, I'm just like, I just can't afford that. So
Fucking capitalists can't afford
like I don't want my underwear out my butt. I know like that's a cute look, and I like when other people do it, but for me, I don't want it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my situation.
I really feel you, although in all the opposite
ways.
Yeah,
I know.
So any that so we covered kind of physical difficulty.
Oh, belts. Put belts in there. I want like a
note to add belts.
Like I want like a thick leather belt, but then when I have a men's belt, it's so long because it's for a waist that's like more inches around. That's all. Continue.
Custom leather. You can do custom leather.
I look
everything.
at custom leather goods like your typical queer on the internet all the time. I send many emails about it requesting sizes. Yeah.
You can maybe do the leather belt in Mexico because work leather goods there are so much cheaper than in the States.
I know. That's my next thing. My dad always gives me his belts, but they're so long. So, and then I can't cut it because I'm like, this is my dad's belt. Anyway.
Just get like a punch.
Yeah.
Put it in another hole.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. So any pieces that you found maybe emotionally difficult to start wearing or difficult for social reasons that kind of made you afraid to interact with certain groups of people?
Yeah. I mean, when I'm around my family, I really rein it in. So around them, like, everything looks a lot cleaner and a lot more like I'm trying to fit in. And the thing that comes immediately to mind is this pair of like shiny, silvery white baseball pants.
Wait, is this the pair that you wore to?
Yeah.
They
that
were
I
amazing.
fucking love.
The Perfume Genius concert.
Yeah.
Those were hype.
Yeah.
As the 18-year-olds say. They were great.
So I bought those. I tried them on at the Salvation Army. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, I look fucking dope. And then I was like, okay, this is the perfect thing actually to wear with like the flowery off the shoulder top that my dad got me for my sister and for me and my sister to wear as twins or whatever. So, okay, so it's gonna work. And then I was just like, I got it home and I was like, it really, really, you can really tell that I don't have a wiener. Like there's just this extra fabric, you know? It's like a little pocket. And I really felt emotional, like looking in the mirror and being like, I'm not filling it out, you know? And so I really felt like I wanted to wear them out, but I couldn't do it unless I did it right. So then I just kind of like figured out a way to like tape a bunch of socks inside this like pink crushed velvet leotard and then wear that, and the leotard holds like the package in place, and then and it's so soft, and then and then I like tried the pants on again and I was like, okay, this is like, these are the curves that are supposed to be here. So my dream is that somebody will buy me a sewing machine, but until that happens, like I'm just kind of trying to trying to walk that line. But yeah, I was really nervous, especially being in a new city, not really having close friends here, like going out to, I think the first time I wore them was like out to this bar, and I just got there like an hour and a half after everybody else because I was like puttering around my house being a nervous freak, being like, can I go out looking like this? Like, are people going to think it's okay? You know, like I put on a blazer on top to let people know that I was in charge, but like I still had doubts, you know? So that's a big one. Other stuff like my girlfriend got me this like I've been calling it like a harness doily or a doily harness. And it's kind of like, it looks like a doily that you would put your tea on, but it's kind of like a chest harness that comes like right above where like, it comes like, I don't know, 3 inches above like nipple height or something. So it's kind of like this, like a, like frilly, like chest piece, but it's not for breasts. And so I think that's cool. It's kind of like It's like cut like a cool harness, but it's like a
Is
doily.
this an undergarment, or is it like
It's
is that a kink garment or
Well, I've just been wearing it
like a club garment?
I've just been wearing it on top of my shirts.
Okay.
I don't know what they're really for. I think they're supposed to be for bras, and I think they're supposed to be. I actually have no idea because this I don't know why they look like this. I've seen people that are dressing as flaps maybe wear something similar, but I don't know how it's supposed to be worn. But I know how I want to wear it.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I feel like it kind of like accentuates my chest without accentuating my breast. And that's tight for me. I'm into that.
That's really, I'm so glad I'm having these, I keep on having these conversations and I'm like, I want to write a different piece, like a real piece, because this is so foul.
It's going down.
I might pitch with the same content after I publish this one to a different, like a more long form kind of exploration. But yeah, I'm feeling. I sit here. I'm like listening, and I'm like so involved with the emotions because I haven't actually had these conversations before with anyone besides like Cassie.
Yeah.
And those shoes, I just got them 2 days ago, and they're the first shoes I've ever had that that are like femme shoes. I have other shoes that I like, but anyway, and that was like a big deal for me, and it was also impossible to find. Like I said, that's like why I decided to write this piece. But anyway, what I'm saying is thank you for sharing, and this feels
it's cool. It's cool to talk about.
Difficult. Cut that one. Okay. So thinking about, you said your identity is an ongoing process, and the way you want to look is an ongoing process. But is there something that you're kind of thinking about that feels on the horizon that you're trying to find, or that if you found you might start wearing, or that you just kind of like fantasize about it?
I mean, I have some freaky answers for this. I don't know if it's what you're looking for. But...
just lay them on. I'll sort it out later.
Yeah, so I really want like a clear PVC belt with metal like fixtures. That's like a thick cut that will fill out the belt loops. So that's one thing I've been looking for. I also am into all types of body harnesses and body chains. So my problem is that I have kind of a long torso, so I have a couple that don't really fit. So those are things that I like to wear. I feel like now that I am a student in the academy, I wear a lot more like I dress a lot more conservatively. So I've been like more interested in wearing like freaky under things.
Balance things out.
Yeah. I really am so hoping that like Victorian collars / clown ruffles are going to become the next big thing. I think they might, but
can't say that I'm hoping with you here.
But that hasn't happened yet, so yeah. So that's. But I've been looking for that. I've been looking for like just like a really frilly, fluffy neck piece
to go with the chains.
To like let people know like I'm a little bit ridiculous. But like I dressed up for this.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Like you're intentional about your fun.
Yeah. So those are the things that I'm really looking for. I think before my friends have described my style as sports tuxedo. So that's like my staple. I definitely wear like a lot of tuxedo shirts and like yeah, like tuxedo style slacks and stuff. I feel like with that you can't really go wrong. I don't know. Like I think like any mixture of like athletic wear and part of a tuxedo I think always looks great. But that's just me. Maybe. Or maybe it's everyone
I think
in the future.
It's everyone in the future.
Yeah.
It's definitely the coming look.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a French model next year. It's gonna be strutting.
You're gonna just
strutting down with.
You'll see.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for, and I want to buy like a sick pair of black leather boots.
Like what kind?
Like not heavy so that they don't damage my little baby knees. Like black leather combat boot, lace up.
Like mid calf or.
Yeah, yeah, you know, yeah, but like sized for this guy. Like, you know. Yeah, and I like if I have an 18-year-old sister, if she was like, Red, I really want to get a tooth gem with you, I would 100% be like, thank you, because I've been waiting.
Time is now.
Yeah, so that's on my horizon.
Did I ask you about, are you going to Rail?
Probably not, but I'll give you a ride there.
No, Cassie's coming by to give me a ride to Royale, but she was offering if you were still here, if you wanted a Royale. If you wanted a Royale ride.
Yeah, I don't know if I will. I might not.
Okay.
Although my friend is free, so I don't know. I'm very undecided. That's my official answer.
Your official answer. Did we did you say like what was your first? I feel like I asked this, but I don't remember your answer. What was your first piece that you started wearing?
I don't know. I feel like my first piece is my short hair.
But
and
is that how recent is your short hair?
that was probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not allowed to cut my hair at all growing up. But honestly, like, straight up, like, I dated men all throughout college. And I dated a lot of gay men, too, in college and in high school, but I couldn't understand how to have a girlfriend for some reason. But even then, like, I just always kind of looked like the stereotype of like a queer lesbian freak. Like, people would be like, yeah, like, you know, it was just like, I was definitely like one of those people that like, people would be like, oh, like, no, like, Red has a boyfriend. Like, Red's not a lesbian. And then other people would be like, but Red looks exactly like every single lesbian. You know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know if it's like, yeah, just like chocolate brown loafers or like ill-fitting button-ups or whatever the stereotype is. But I think I definitely always kind of looked queer, and I think I sometimes used who I was dating to kind of like protect myself from having to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.